Hello, beautiful, lovely people, and welcome back to a new video. My name is Evelyn Barta, and those of you that have been already here, welcome back to my channel. Those of you that are new, welcome to my channel. Today I am back with a new channel message, and this time from the lovely Pleiadians. I feel super connected to them, and I feel like they are my spirit team that I can always connect to, and they always help me with very valuable guidance, which is super important at this time, as they always stress about that, and it's super important for us to also connect to them. So there's a lot going on in the world right now, a lot of tension, a lot of questioning our realities, our truth, and what we stand for, what we don't want any longer, and what we do want to experience, what we want for the future generations, for our children, for their children. And we do see the existing problems in the world. We acknowledge them, we have awareness about them, and we know that things need to change. So there's a lot of awareness from people. They are waking up and they are questioning. They are questioning their reality. They are questioning what is going on. And they are losing trust in the authorities, in the mainstream media, in the government, in the health system, in education, in the financial system, in everything basically. So there is a complete paradigm shift that is taking place at the moment, and a complete restructuring of everything that we thought that it was true and created our reality and our perception about what we are as individuals and as a collective as well. So there is a shift in our belief systems, and our reality is crumbling. It's breaking down, so a new reality and a new perspective can be born. And despite of the fact that we are seeing through the manipulation and things that are no longer working, and in fact we do feel empowered enough to change things, despite all of that, we still don't know how we can get out of this situation and how things can work out, how things can improve. Because at the moment, we feel hopeless and helpless as well. And many people feel powerless as well. And it's very easy to get entangled in the negativity of the events and this overwhelming state of receiving constantly information if we are not aware of the sources that we are receiving information from. So the mainstream media, we have to understand that the main purpose and objective of the mainstream media is to create fear, confusion, and sense of being powerless. So if you are constantly keeping yourself up to date with watching the news, and even watching the news from YouTube, those clips that these news providers are uploading, then it's very easy to fall into believing that there's no way out of this situation. And if something we have learned this year is the importance of using our own discernment and not relying on outside sources. People are waiting for solutions from world leaders. Those are individuals are not leaders. Those individuals are part of the problem. So all this confusion, first of all, is coming from the fact that we are looking for solution in the wrong place. And apologies for the noise that you are hearing. There are some construction works in the neighborhood. They are never ending, literally. So this paradigm shift requires a shift in our perception and taking responsibility for our thoughts, and to realize that our thoughts are creating our reality, and to use our discernment and to be able to decide which sources are right for us, which sources are bringing us hope and believing that we can create a better reality, and which news and sources are telling us that is all lost and there's no way out because our fate and our future is in the hands of certain individuals that have more power than us. And that is false. So it is time to apply that paradigm shift in your personal lives, in our lives as individuals, to feel empowered in our relationships, in our interaction with people, in our careers, in our families. And this is where we have to do the work. And that will extend to a collective level as well. If you are not empowered in your very close relationships, if you are not empowered because you haven't integrated certain lessons in your lower chakras and those chakras are not balanced out, then how can we expect the current state of the society to change? It is just a reflection of our inner state as individuals. So you understand that everything starts with you, as cliche as it sounds. And today's channeling is about that. The Pleiadians are talking about the importance of recognizing how the ego mind works and how it creates problems that otherwise were non-existent. So it's really a change in perception, what we need right now, because the different dimensions are not places that we are going into. This ascension is not about ascending to the new earth from one place to the other place. The difference between the dimensions is a difference between our perception of our reality. So fifth dimension is having the reality that we are having right now, but seeing it differently. Noticing things that that reality has, which we haven't seen beforehand, and giving that reality a different meaning. That is the fifth dimension. It's a fifth dimensional perception, and that is subject to our level of consciousness. So I will read this message now. Let's get into it and let's see what the Pleiadians are saying. The message in some places it's a little bit abstract, to be honest, so I did have to wrap my head around it in order to understand it, but it does make a lot of sense. And they are talking about time as well, which is making it a little bit abstract, but I think it's very valuable what they were saying. Okay, so this channeled message is from the Pleiadian collective from the 30th of July 2021. And they said, as sensations arise in all of you, time begins to unfold and time begins to be experienced by those that are aware with the unfolding process of this fifth dimensional awakening. The beliefs that are in your minds right now about what is taking place have to be replaced with uplifting thoughts, as the realization will suppress that which is no longer serving your expansion. Having these thoughts in your minds will require all of you to have the emotional experience as a goal that will not require much, but to believe in yourselves and in the process. Together you can rise, and together you can create all that you wish, all that is the creation of your very beings, and the ascension of your souls. The process has started, and your minds are trying to find solutions to it and trying to resolve all that they don't understand, because things haven't unfolded yet, as things are at the beginning of this creation. However, the realization of this will not only get to the fifth dimension, but it will summon the existence of you as physical bodies, as vessels in this third density. Great souls have this awakening as your goal, as you are higher dimensional than what you realize. You are coming from realms that are beyond this physical existence, and you will provide with the knowledge of this sooner than you would think. We, the Pleiadians, are telling you to understand that what is designed as adequate will become whole and purposeful as the linear time in your reality is passing by. And as you realize the essence of such existence, it will become clear for you your mission here and your probability to ascend and graduate via the awakening process. Transcendence is why you are feeling infiltrated with so much knowledge about where you are coming from, and all that you thought it didn't exist in your essence will become realized, and it is passing through time as you do that. One step at a time will get you ahead and will get you on the path that is the most helpful for you all, for you to realize the elevated state of your reality. The stepping stone will provide with information to all of you about this process, and you will be grateful and glad that you continued on this path without getting attached to the outcome. And then I was asking, what do we need to focus on right now in order to elevate the consciousness of the planet? And they said, focus on your own elevation, because that is the process that is the starting point of each collective awakening. Many of you are trying to look for answers, not from within, when all you need is to take some time off from your everyday activities to realize that you inquired this process of awakening, which will bring clarity and development. The current state of the world is not for you to be solved, but to be experienced and lived, as you are here for your own free will. And for that you are reaching what you have never thought that you can reach, simply by asking yourself about what is that you are lacking, what is that you are feeling that is giving you this inadequate answer of what you are. Understand that there is so much programming involved in your existence, in your reality, that the mind itself cannot give you answers about how you can override that programming and answers about your purpose here. There will be answers given by your ego that are only offering complexity to the question. The mind has the tendency to entangle itself in complicated matters and inner dialogues without finding the way out, and without finding solutions to the otherwise non-existing issues that it created for itself to solve. The word is not the issue. The issue is what you are thinking about the word to be, and that is the distortion that can be changed in your minds by asking the heart about this inbuilt information. So take some time off and disconnect from what is going on in the horizontal realm of your planet, on the ego's battlefield. You are capable of seeing things from a higher perspective, as a bird is capable of seeing the way out of a maze which other creatures on the ground are unable to observe and process. Always ask yourselves, is it me that is not capable of seeing the way out because of my limited vision that my mind is telling me that I have? Or is it the mind refusing to understand and accept that there is a way out? It refuses to understand that the way out exists because it is holding onto the idea that the absence of the way out and the absence of the exit point is part of its identity. Please see that your addiction to trauma is something that your mind perceives as safety. It convinces you that if you hold on to the same vision and the same state of being a victim, that will keep you safe and will keep you in a place where you cannot be hurt any longer. But this way, the mind can become its own enemy, for it is imagining that they are enemies. And so it will bring experiences that will enforce that idea. So it is all happening for the mind finding its identity in the hardships that it is going through. Your souls know that there are no hardships but perceptions of experiences. And so it seeks its truth via its own inbuilt guidance system and connection to source. And it knows that there is no need for seeking, as it is all there. It is innate and it is accessible. So as your distorted belief systems are falling apart at this time for each of you, your collective consciousness will stop seeking for answers from the wounded ego that doesn't see its way out from the mess that it has created for itself. And so you will collectively seek for answers from your own hearts and create the coherence between your minds and hearts, and the consciousness of your planet will elevate itself, and it will solve all the problems that were otherwise non-existent. It will start seeing things through clarity and understanding, and so it will create new experiences and levels of cooperation. It is all unfolding, and the process is in the hands of generational and ancestral wisdom and clarity, and your perceptions will match with that higher perception. It is working through timelines, through generations, and through dimensions. So please be with yourselves. It is all we can say, and you will connect to the divine presence in you that will be, and it has always been, the solution to your problems that otherwise were just a result of the distortion that your perception has projected onto the world. We are the Pleiadians, and we are grateful for all of you and your great services to the collective consciousness. Please feel the process unfolding in your hearts without any doubt and disappointment about the speed of the shift that is currently taking place. Time is non-existent and non-linear, so please do not tie your evolution to your perception about time. It is all well, lovely beings. We will be with you soon, as we are providing with optimal information to all of you in the near future, according to your time-space complex. Peace with you all, lovely beings, in the name of the one infinite creator. So, that was today's message and guidance from the Pleiadian collective. And it did feel a little bit like a slap in the face, because the realization of the truth is always quite painful first, but eventually it sets you free and it allows you to release a lot of generational stuff that is not serving you well. And I talked about this thing in my previous video where I pulled a few oracle cards, and they are reflecting perfectly what humanity is going through right now in terms of clearing out a lot of generational karma, distorted belief systems. So we are letting go of those things in order to create space for a new belief system and a new paradigm that is being born right now. But the ugly truth about this situation is that we have been passing from generation to generation this distorted belief system about ourselves, that we are powerless, that we are victims of the circumstances, and the previous generations especially never questioned those things. There were a lot of programming that we have received for many years, for many generations, and we know that from our parents that they never questioned the official narrative, they never questioned why they had to do certain things, why their parents were teaching them certain things. But we are the generation that can break the wheel, and this is what I'm talking about in the previous video as well. So there's a lot of error in the thinking of, in the perception of the ego mind. And we are projecting those errors onto the world, and we perceive the world as being inadequate and wrong. And that is because we are perceiving ourselves inadequate and not enough. And there's an interesting thing that they were talking about, which was, I think, very eye-opening, when they said that please see that your addiction to trauma is something that your mind perceives as safety. It convinces you that if you hold onto the same vision and the same state of being a victim, that will keep you safe and will keep you in a place where you cannot be hurt any longer. And it's so true, because we do have a tendency to hold onto our traumas, as crazy as it sounds. And I did notice that on myself, in my relationships with people, especially with men, that many times I was holding on to the past, and I was holding on to the traumas that happened to me, because I thought that if I do that, that will keep me in a safe place and I will no longer repeat the same mistakes and the same situations will not be repeated. And many times we are holding on to our anger and our disgust towards certain people because we think that this is the way to keep those people away from us. But what we don't realize is that what we resist, we persist. And until we don't deal with those things and we don't integrate these shadow aspects, the same lessons will show up over and over again. And yeah, this year is all about awareness and all about releasing these false belief systems. And they said that our distorted belief systems are falling apart at this time. And each of us will stop seeking for answers from the wounded ego, and we will start seeking answers from the heart that really has those answers for us that we are looking for. So the shift is happening regardless of what the mainstream media is trying to tell you about what is going on, and regardless of how the majority of people are feeling about this whole thing going on. The majority are feeling hopeless and helpless, and it's very, very important to use our discernment and to connect to those people that are giving us this sense of empowerment. Those groups of individuals with which we are feeling empowered and uplifted and not drained. And your feelings and how you feel after connecting to certain individuals, will tell you which groups are the right ones for you. And this is how you practice your discernment. This is what the GFL was saying in the previous session. And that is crucial, because this is how you can elevate the consciousness of the planet and raise your own frequency. So guys, this was today's guidance from the Pleiadians. And let's be grateful for everything that we have and be happy about the smallest victories, because, you know, despite everything that is going on right now and the confusion, I'm super thankful that I got to spend a lot of time in the nature this summer and this year, and I will continue to do so until I can. I might not be able to travel where I used to travel, you know, to the seaside, to different countries as I used to do every year, but I'm in the nature and I'm super grateful for that, honestly. And yeah, these small things are the most significant ones. And if this message has resonated with you, then feel free to subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, because I'm uploading new videos every week. And also feel free to share this message with those that can resonate. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. I am grateful. And take care of yourselves. And I will see you in my next video. Kisses to you all.